Welcome back to my Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where the thumbnail art is finally here. So I hope it's lived up to your expectations. If you didn't notice, or if you've, I suppose you're checking in from the future, in which case this is probably a very random episode for you to be checking on in, is the last night's episode, the tapas episode, was the first episode with the new thumbnail art. I mean, technically the April Fool's episode had the new thumbnail art, well, an unfinished version of a thumbnail art, just like blurred extremely heavily, so whatever. Anyway, I retroactively updated all the previous thumbnail arts. I'll upload the joke thumbnail arts at some point to Twitter. I'm very behind on Twitter uploads, but anyway. Hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:08 PM on Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Yeah. So it's got a new thumbnail art. In case you haven't seen the new thumbnail art, I suppose while this loading screen is happening, I'll give you a little preview. Ooh, not a preview, but like the full-size version if you want to take a quick pause and look at it. There's no thumbnail art time-lapse for it yet. That is because I didn't have time to like commentate over it last night, nor like make it. So I was like, well. There will be, and yeah, the thumbnail art's a little bit different. So I couldn't just like chuck it in DaVinci Resolve and speed everything up because the anniversary ones I commentate over now, or at least I did it last year and I was like, I thought that was a pretty cool thing to do. Let's do it again this year so I can talk about the process a little bit and we can, you know, have a good time, hopefully, with that, because there are things to talk about, I think, in this sure, 5-4-X, why not? So, because there are things to talk about, I think, during for this thumbnail art, which I'm, you know, a little bit different here and there. You know, I can explain my thought process and explain what I've done. But hopefully you like it. I think it's quite fun, and yeah, I guess I'll talk more about it in that thumbnail art video, which will probably be up tomorrow. I don't really know. But apart from that, you know, we're back to sort of plain sailing as it comes to Dear Darling channel things. We're just recording videos, building up a backlog again because I lost most of a backlog due to going on holiday. I got about like 5 days or so of backlog, which is okay. I don't know what, I think I need to record some Here Comes Nico, and then it'll basically be up to a week again, which is nice. A week is still smaller than I like 2 weeks. But it's still fine to work with, and then I will start drawing the Beacon Pines thumbnail art once I start finish doing other stuff which I need to do unrelated to channel, obviously. Now this whole episode is not going to be on channel meta, I suppose. I didn't really think about a topic to talk about following on from holiday chat. I'm just trying to think, what do we do after eating tapas in Spain? I think we went to go see the Gaudi stuff. I'll check that, but it's basically there's this famous architect who I guess came from Barcelona, or is in Barcelona, or lived in Barcelona, or just did things for Barcelona. I don't really know exactly where the sort of like denominations are here or there, but he basically did a load of cool like architect looking things, designed a load of buildings and stuff all around Barcelona. And honestly, they're very super cool. They're super fancy, and you know, they're stylistically, well, in my opinion, I like them quite a lot stylistically. I liked his church. Yeah, okay, so that is actually the thing we did afterwards. After tapas, we went down. He did a lot of things. We didn't see absolutely everything. We didn't go inside and see absolutely everything, but we saw some things here and there. His name is Gaudi, I believe. I don't know what his first name is. Like, I was going to say, I think it's Anthony, but I wasn't confident enough to say it. But yes, Anthony Gaudi, he was alive in 19th century. And was a Catalan architect. There you go. Known for a great exponent of Catalan modernism. So he designed like a huge amount of things in Barcelona. We basically went around and saw almost all of it, because why not? Like we were walking along the main street. This is the first building we saw. Like I don't know what this building's particularly called, but there's a load of pictures of people and stuff on the side. It's pretty cool, I think. I'll tell you what they're called if I remember what they're called, but unfortunately I can't. So you might just have to search Gaudi buildings and maybe they'll come up. No, so Grada Familia we'll get onto. It's not this Masquerade one. We saw this Masquerade one a little bit later. I don't know if this might not have even been a Gaudi building, to be honest. Anyway, interestingly, there was a lot of construction about the places we were walking in Barcelona at that time, for whatever reason. I don't know. I think they were doing a lot of road repairs. It was a thing I commented on. It was when we were in Barcelona. I was like, there's a lot of construction, like everywhere. Surprisingly so. But anyway, the major building, the first building we went to, it's this Masquerade mask building. I don't know what it's called. top 10 architectural buildings. It'll probably have a name of it here, so you can Google it for yourself and you can look it up. Let me see, what's it called? Casa Batlló. Batlo. I think it's really cool because it's I don't know really the details about it. I think it's also a museum if you go into it, but we didn't go into it because we sort of went for quantity over quality necessarily. We went to go see a few of them, and this one was pretty cool. It's basically the balconies kind of, well, at least to me, they look like masquerade masks. I don't know if that necessarily is actually what they're meant to be, but you know, as I always say with art, you know, 50% intention, 50% interpretation, and I thought it was just pretty cool. It's quite amusingly gaudy, I suppose. I don't even know if that's necessarily where the word comes from, but it'd be quite amusing if it is. But I know not everyone's gonna necessarily love his work, you know, and then some of my friends were just like, it's okay, but it's a bit much for me, and I'm like, that's fair enough, you know. It's certainly not something I would be like, I want my house to look like this, but I think I can appreciate it very much as an architectural art form. Looking at it, I'm like, you know, it's very cool decorated. I'm like, that's a very cool concept for balconies on the building, and it looks very pretty. And it's got very nice shape language, I suppose, to it. So we saw that one. That one was pretty cool. What else did we see? I don't think this one was by Gaudi, but it was another cool building we saw. It just looked like an apartment block, but everything was basically circular. And we were like, whoa. Anyway, we went to like Sagrada Familia, which is basically like is most well-known thing, I assume. I don't actually know that for certain, to be perfectly honest, but it's kind of what I assumed. It's basically this massive church. It's a huge church, and it is gorgeous on the inside, is what I can say. On the outside, it's pretty cool, but there's like things I remember from it, like the fact that a lot of these times in these churches, they have like these statues of people from the Bible or whatever in like very big detail, and these extravagant scenes, and there was some of that on this church. But interestingly, there are a lot of parts of it where there was like, I would describe it as a low poly rendition of certain like character, like people, I suppose. And I was like, whoa, this is a very interesting way of portraying it. It somehow feels very modern, I suppose, looking at it like that. We still have like all the people everywhere and the decorations and whatnot, but yeah, as a low poly version, I was like, that's very interesting. Stylistic choice. Is it something I like? I think I like it more. I think I tend to like more minimalistic styles and modern styles, unsurprisingly. Modernist quote styles compared to the very detailed and intricate ones of traditional styles. That's not always necessarily true though. Sorry, sip of water. But the inside is literally, I think, probably one of the few times I've like entered like a historical style building and audibly went, whoa. It is gorgeous, and mainly it's gorgeous because the entirety of the church is basically like these white stone walls. I don't know, they're not marble, I don't think all of it's marble. I'm not really like a mason, so I can't tell you exactly what it's made out of, but it's just like the way that the light interacts. Luckily a very sunny day, or reasonably sunny day where we went, the way that the light interacts with the stained glass and the white walls of the church makes it basically look like it's a rainbow inside. It's so pretty, and I'm sad because, not sad, but the pictures I took of it don't really do it justice. Like, hold on, you could probably, someone like professional photographers probably balanced it to make it look more accurate to real life, because all the pictures I have like wash out the colours. It can't capture it. Like inside, it's so colourful. It's unbelievable. Yeah, if you search Sagrada Familia inside, you can start to see some of the things like colours. Like this one, oh my god, such a good picture. It's like you're kind of like in a kaleidoscope, but it's a church. And you look around, and there's like surprising amount of details and very nice, pleasant shape symmetries going on all around the area, which makes it not like overwhelming to look at, but still rather intricate, I think, in its own designs. But really, the colours are just fantastic. The stained glass windows were interesting in of itself. They were surprisingly detailed stained glass windows with very strange things in them. Not strange necessarily, but like a lot of them were just sort of like shapes of colours. And I assume they were meant to portray things, but they were not like, they were quite abstract, I suppose. Which, and if anything, I actually quite like more rather than intricate designs. But some of them just had like really random words just like written in. Like one of them was like Domingo, which is like Sunday, which I guess is like the holy day or whatever in Christianity. And there was like really like random words in Spanish just like written in the stained glass windows. Like the kerning was all very strange. It was in a weird font. It was like off center, and I was like, I guess this is a choice. It's not necessarily a choice I would like. I would personally just like just for colors, and I'm perfectly good with that. And yeah, I don't know. It was strange, but I don't know. It was a very pleasing church to look at. It is a church, right? I didn't really think about this. I mean, it must be a church. What else could it be? Is it unfinished church? Yeah, because it was still under like construction, I think, by the time when we went. So yeah, it's just super colourful, and it's like I think it's for me personally, the wow factor is that very much in the colour and its interaction with like the white stone all about the place, making it look so rainbow and kaleidoscope, like very, very pretty. They also had these cool like little statues of like the four people, I can't remember their names, like Peter. Wait, I don't really know much about religion, so forgive my ignorance. But before, it's not disciples because it's 12 disciples. But before people who were in the Bible, the chapters or books or whatever named after them, they had like these cool like statues and the animals that they represent, and they had like little blurbs being like, "This is why this animal was chosen." I don't remember them. Joan? Was Joan one of them? I mean, that's what one of the statues is, but that's not who I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't those four people necessarily, but I know there's four of them. And there was like a nice little sort of like museum sort of like, wow, this is a cool picture that my friend took. There's a lot of interesting designs, but yeah, very much a stained glass. I was like, whoa, cool. I mean, stained glass is just cool to begin with. Anyway, there's like a cool sort of museum part where it talks about like the sort of construction of the place and the design and the iterations it went through. There was this interesting thing, which I thought was interesting, but then my engineering friend was like, they're so useless or whatever, but is where they did a model of the plans for the designs, but instead of like building it up like using whatever, they made it using weights and strings, so it's hanging downwards. So it's basically like an upside down version of what they intended the final thing to look like, but they used weights and strings and pulled the strings at different weights, pulled the strings at different lengths to make the outline. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I guess if you want to work on like planning upside down or something, I don't really know. Went to a gift shop as well. Is that all my pictures? Oh, because we probably went to the other Gaudi thing the next day. Yeah, that's probably right. So I guess we'll skip ahead to the other Gaudi thing we went to, which is he's also known for as Parc Güell, which is basically just like a park where he designed a load of things inside of it. It's a bit like a sort of fairy tale and not okay. If I describe it like a fairy tale park, you're gonna like imagine Disneyland. It doesn't look like Disneyland. There are parts of it which look Disneyland-esque, I would say, but it's still sort of like a. It's not like a park, like an open green space area. It was more like an art park. Well, it is an art park, I suppose. But I remember the actual like entrance area. We didn't go in through the main entrance. We went through like a side entrance where there was like these 3 crosses on top of a hill. That was some monument. I don't remember it. But we walked our way to the entrance place. And the entrance place is pretty cool. But I would basically describe it as looking like, oh, these are like cool gingerbread like looking houses is how I describe them. They're like these sort of castles. They have very intricate like roof designs, very sort of kitschy pastel colory sort of things. Not like extremely obtrusive or anything like that. And the entranceway has a nice like pretty fountain and like mosaics and a very nice design, I'm gonna be honest. And we had a walk around load of different things. We walked around to like the aqueducts, which are I don't know, designed by him, probably, maybe, I don't really remember off the top of my head, but it was pretty cool. Yeah, they were specifically designed because I remember we came upon a part where it was like still under construction because my friend was like, how, there's no way these stones are like freestanding or whatever. It just doesn't make any mechanical sense. Again, my engineer friend. And yeah, it was pretty cool. What else did we see? We saw like these gardens, which the gardens were more just like a winding path. It didn't really feel like a garden to me, but I think it was an architectural garden, maybe, I'm not really sure. Anyway, we went down to this big like open space area, like the plaza. The plaza was basically, well, the plaza itself is not actually very interesting. It's more like the things around the edge of a plaza, which are kind of cool. It's like the boundaries, like the seats. I don't really know what you're meant to do with a plaza. Is it just meant to be like an open demonstration area? Is it just meant to be a big open space? Both of those are possible, and I don't know the answer to it. We had to queue to actually get into the plaza because it was super busy, which is wild. But yeah, anyway, it had like a load of mosaic things along the outside. And this is such a specific reference, but it reminded me of something I saw when I was like 3. when I was in London, in I think it was Trafalgar Square, where they had a fountain with these like sort of mosaics, similar sort of designs, and I was like, I wonder if that was also Gaudi. Tried to look it up, didn't find anything. So I wonder if I can find it now. I feel like it was Trafalgar Square. Trafalgar Square Fountain 2000s. It was like a fountain, it had like a seal in it, is what I remember, and I remember it was like mosaics. It might not have been Trafalgar Square, it might have just been London. Or somewhere entirely different. I don't really remember. Maybe I just put London Mosaic Fountain 2000s. London Seal Fountain 2000s? I thought I feel like it was a seal. Maybe it wasn't a seal. I think it was an art installation, and it's sort of like, I just remember being like, I wonder if this is Gaudi. It's not from the 2000s though. I was very young. Oh well, maybe it doesn't exist anymore. Or maybe it was literally something I just made up in my head, and maybe it was not in London whatsoever. I don't know. Anyway, it reminded me of that, and we took quite a few nice pictures there. And then, like, the second last area we had was like these. It was a load of pillars, is all I can really describe. It was just a load of pillars. I don't really know what the area was. It was kind of cool to look at though, because it was on such a large scale. We took some nice pictures there as well, or photos, I should say. Yeah, then we went down to like the exit, or like the stair ramp area. There was like some nice mosaic area, nice mosaic place. Nice sort of statues, and there was like this mosaic lizard thing, which I bought a plushie of at a previous location, or at this location. I don't even remember, to be perfectly honest. And it was cool. I don't know if we saw any more Gaudi stuff, to be honest, but you know, he's certainly got an eye for design, I would say. An eye for design, an eye for architecture, certainly better than anything I could do. And honestly, I really liked the church. Just the stained glass windows was super, super cool. I don't know how. I wonder what I'm going to title this episode. Gaudi, I suppose. It seems a bit strange because, I mean, I don't want to do it and then people be like, whoa, are you recreating Gaudi's like works in Animal Crossing? No, but I don't think people are doing that anyway when they look at my videos. I hope not. I hope you don't see something called Gaudi Animal Crossing Video Diary and assume I'm recreating it all in one day, but I don't know. I wouldn't blame you if you did. Which is why sometimes I sort of tend to stray away from having proper nouns in my titles, but you know, I also, you know, it is what I'm talking about, so perhaps that is what I should title it. Anyway, he did probably a load of other stuff. I don't really know. Didn't go into the history about him museum. We just, you know, looked at like the stuff he did. Had like a tour of like the building of Sagrada Familia. Gaudi. Anything else notable about him that I should talk about Wikipedia? There's probably a lot of other buildings that I didn't see as well. There's Park Güell, Sagrada Familia, that one I said, Casa Patio. Those seem to be the main ones, but there's a lot of other cool things. So I suppose if you like architecture, maybe you should go to Barcelona and see this sort of stuff. Catalan modernism with a highly individualized Sway genre style. A unique style, okay. Most are located in Barcelona, including Sagrada Familia. Yeah, ceramic, stained glass, neo-Gothic art. Okay, now it's throwing around a lot of terms which I don't know or don't know the meaning of, so I can't really, you know, build upon that. But there you go, Gaudi. Oh, it's a salamander, not a lizard. He's got a long page. My God. My Gaudi. You can, I suppose, look it up yourself if you want to see the exact details. But yeah, he's got a lot of cool designs. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.